So, unfortunately, we had a bit of a technological glitch, and as such, I will be reminding you all a little bit about what happened the last two sessions. We lost the recordings, but that's okay because I have this very fun presentation where I'm going to bring you all up to speed about everything that happened exactly as it happened. No mistakes, no nothing. All right, shall we? So, as you can see here, we began our wonderful session with Reese and his best friend Netherglim getting tackled to the ground by a mysterious furry humanoid beast. Meanwhile, two other beasts crashed into this dinner party being set by the Soulless family, and our intrepid adventurers managed to kill two of them. One of them, seeing their comrades on the ground, ran off. Now, Reese and Kai quickly got to their feet and in a show of bravado, well, one of them jumped out the window after them, the other one went out the door, and they chased after these creatures into the night.
Whoa, okay, whoa. So, best friend is not even a term I would come closely to using, but other than that, not you, Netherglim. I mean,
oh yeah.
I wouldn't call us best friends, but
that makes a lot more sense.
Yeah. Other than that, yeah. Bravado, we're heroes.
You guys are heroes and your best friends.
Sure, yeah. Well, not me and Kai.
Yeah, your best friends. Oh, well, this is so exciting. We're
best
all best friends.
Best is a very strong word to use, but I was definitely the one that jumped through the window, unscathed, like a superhero.
Yeah. Don't forget that Vodum came too.
Oh, right. Yeah, Vodum was there,
and he was super helpful and didn't do anything unhelpful.
But I was the one who jumped out the window. I don't know if you remember that, Reese. It was not unscathed. I did cut myself on the glass quite.
It was a flawless performance.
All right. Well, all of this is great, guys. But if you could try and maybe keep it quiet, let me finish off the rest of my presentation with no interruptions, just so we can get through this. That would be great.
So we have to be fully quiet, or do we just have to like use our inside voices?
You know what? Our inside a library super quiet voices, Felix. That would be awesome. So anyways, we get to this next slide, and as you can see, the party did the best thing you can ever do in D&D. It really makes the game so easy for me, so easy for you guys, and we split the party. So this party split went with Reese and Kai going after this one last attacker. Felix and Sylvie staying back at the house of the Soulless family, definitely, staying to themselves, not eavesdropping, not really interacting with anyone, just chatting on their own. And Treos made another best friend and went off with our lovely captain of the guard of the city of Mulhessen, Captain Martin Vike, to also hunt this last attacker. So, as we can see, we will go straight to Reese and Kai, who are following out with their, thank you, Felix, lovely friend Vodum, this last attacker. They follow the attacker into a field, manage to tackle them to the ground, manage to wrestle them into an alleyway with all of this show of bravado and attacks, and Kai is able to take off the wristlet that is keeping this creature in monstrous form, and we get to meet the lovely Tabaxi Zash, who was formerly one of these attackers.
Can thank yeah.
I think that the tackle looked a little more cool than that. Personally, like I was chasing and then like I could teleport because that just happens sometimes, and like I teleported in front of them. Like I thought.
Yeah, I was gonna say Votum helped because we used the threat of a tracking dragon that exists, and not something I made up on the spot they were hunting her down. So that's how we were able to convince her to talk.
Well, it's funny because I gave the kill command, but then she ran out of she ran out of the range that I had like control anymore. So then it just kind of stopped.
Felix, when did you train Votum to kill?
I didn't. Things happen sometimes. She got that look in her eye.
we're
For our own safety, what is the safety range on that? Like, how far away are we safe from?
Sometimes it's further than others because sometimes I forget that range exists.
we're gonna talk about this later, Felix.
Yes, I think that's perfect for a sidebar. Maybe after the presentation, you guys can continue on about that. Felix, I also have some questions about that. I'll follow up with you later.
Oh, okay.
But you met Zash with the help of your trusty dragon, intimidated her into talking. She explained that she was the victim of an underground science experiment. She used to be a political science student at Mulhessen College before she volunteered for an experiment and was quickly taken hostage to some lab somewhere and turned into this monstrous creature sent off to do the dirty bidding of her attackers. Meanwhile, we follow back to the house with our second split in the party, Felix and Sylvie. Now, Felix and Sylvie are standing there while all the adults are, doing the important stuff and actually figuring out what happened here and making sure they know exactly what to do, keeping a close eye on these two kids who are definitely not a danger to themselves. And Felix and Sylvie just happen to overhear Professor Netherglim talking about taking the two bodies somewhere else before Martin Vike can get to them. These two hulking figures show up and drag the bodies out, and lo and behold, our lovely, very wise teenagers decide it's a wonderfully smart idea to stay at the house and not follow those bodies. Oh, wait.
Well, so if you really think about it, they did say that they were going to take them and no one else heard. So it was our responsibility, like I learned from these guys, to go save the day. Like they had already gone after. There was no one to tell. Well, that's not entirely true because I guess I probably could have told Treos, but Treos looked really busy.
Felix,
I just wanted to follow and see what he was doing because remember those plants that were on the guy's arms? Sylvie said that those could be important, so I wanted to find out more about it. It would be like a surprise.
You wanted to examine a dead body.
Well, no, I wanted to know where they were
Two
taking the dead body.
bodies.
Yeah, but like it would have been for science, and that's always good.
I mean, guys, at what point do we consider putting a bell on Felix just so we know where he is at all times?
I'm sure I got an extra one on me somewhere.
I thought about telling you guys. I really, really did. I thought pretty hard about it.
For 2 seconds.
Well, yeah, he was going. I didn't have that much time.
We'll talk about this later.
I second the bell idea, I think.
Bell feels like it's kind of invasive.
Well, anyways, before we go out and buy any bells, first of all, I would like to point out, Treos, you didn't really have much of a problem with people and dead bodies earlier. But, anyways, Felix, you definitely told everyone where you were going, right? And definitely bring your friend with you into possible danger.
Well, I meant to tell people and then I forgot. So the effort
was there.
that
counts.
Yeah.
Anyways, back to this slide, guys. So Felix and Sylvie followed these two hulking figures dragging these bodies through the streets of Mulhessen that somehow no one noticed. And were able to pass right by one particular alleyway where a certain particular dragon-supported interrogation was happening. And we're going to leave that there and jump to this next slide, which is our third split of the party. So Treos, you were in the house after this attack happened. You saw your friends jump out the window very gracefully, and then you saw Felix and Sylvie off in the corner, and then suddenly, for some reason, they weren't there. And you were making friends with Captain Martin Vike, and Martin Vike invited you and his fellow guards who had showed up as reinforcements to search the streets for this last attacker. A dangerous assailant like this cannot be on the loose. And as Vike explains, these are not the first attacks like this that have happened in the recent weeks, and yet somehow the bodies keep disappearing before he can get to them. He sees this as his chance to get to them. So he takes you, Treos, out into the streets. And right as you also pass by one particular alleyway, you glimpse the assailant with your two friends propped up, having what seems to be a very intimate, very non-stressful conversation. So you make it your mission to lead Martin Vike on a wild goose chase, leaving marks on trees, guiding his soldiers off in one direction, saying, I think I heard something over there, and eventually follow this fake trail with him and his soldiers deep into the city, and deciding that there's no way you're going to find them.
Who's to say the trail was fake? I mean, there were evidence of scratches, boot prints, it could have been anything out there. What specifically makes it fake?
Right, yes, the bear in the middle of the city definitely could have left those scratches.
Of course, haven't you heard of rune bears? They're always dealing with magic. They come to that town every day just to deal with stuff.
And fortunately, Martin Vike and his soldiers definitely believed you.
Of course.
At that explanation.
Listen, everything I provided was truthful and helpful. They even helped me recognize by my nickname. Just doesn't the name Reese roll off the tongue? Fits me perfectly.
What?
Oh.
Huh?
What?
What?
Say that again?
Say what again?
What name did you give them?
Reese.
If we weren't in a movie theater, you'd be dead right now.
Hey Felix, you want to get some popcorn right now?
Popcorn? Yeah, let me go get it.
Well, this is not over.
You can get popcorn after. I promise we are almost done, and then you guys can go get popcorn and murder each other to your heart's content. Yes, Felix.
But I'm hungry though, and we haven't had anything to eat this entire time.
Felix, you have 3 empty bowls of popcorn right next to you.
Yeah, but I could have a 4th.
You could and you can after we finish this presentation. So please sit right back down and we will continue on. So Treos and Martin Vike, you get to the end of this wild goose chase and decide there's no way you're finding this assailant tonight. And you decide to leave it for that and part ways. Treos, you're going to wander your way back, see if you can find out where your comrades ended up. Meanwhile, back in the alleyway while this wild goose chase was happening, Reese and Kai, you are speaking with Zash. You are learning her story, and you decide that this is a victim of a horrible crime, and it is your job to make sure she gets wherever she needs to go safely. She explains that she has a contact in the Gilded Gates, a former mentor that perhaps it would behoove her to visit, to get out of the city and escape whatever is going on here. And Reese, you decide to take Zash back to the first out-of-the-way alehouse you can find, the Thirsty Wormling. So you and Zash head out into the streets, and that is where we leave your story for the night. Kai, you split off from the rest of your comrades to return to the house, because after all, you left 2 of your friends there, Treos and Felix, and as you can imagine, they're both going to be there when you get back. You get back to the house and have a very civil, very kind conversation with Felix's family, with Professor Netherglim, talking about the events of the night, talking about Felix's future. You're all very much in agreement. You all love Felix very much and want what's best for him. At which point, you are able to head back out into the streets. You run into Treos briefly and ask if Treos has seen Felix, because no one in the house had. Treos says, no, and keeps walking. So you decide maybe it's your job to go and figure out what happened to Felix, where he and Sylvie disappeared off to.
I mean, it's an oversimplification, I would say. Yeah, that conversation with Felix's parents. I mean, yeah, I'm sure his dad loves him.
Well, yeah, of course.
Yeah. Felix, can you turn away for a second or try not to listen? Or
Yeah, I'll try.
You-
I'll take off
you go
my
into your
list.
bottle.
You know what, Felix,
Oh, yeah,
why don't you
no
go
problem.
get that more popcorn? Oh, never mind.
Yeah, go get the popcorn, Felix. Sorry.
Anyways, as you were saying,
Okay.
Kai.
Yeah, his mom just straight up said that he wasn't safe at home because of this night, and he was much more safe on the road with adventurers. Which makes sense from a loving mother.
I mean, you guys would never put him
mm.
in a dangerous situation, would you?
Never intentionally. I mean, the kid just follows us around, and we can't abandon him out there. He can't hear this, right?
I think he's mentioned that a time or two, maybe. Well,
Oh well.
so his parents did not. You know what? Well,
Didn't want to keep him.
Yeah.
Offered
I
to
was-
pay us money actually to keep him out on the
Oh!
road adventuring.
Oh, that did you? Yeah. We'll wait till he goes to the bathroom to continue this conversation. You know, he's
Yeah.
going like
Yeah.
5 minutes.
I keep forgetting. My bad.
Yeah.
Don't worry, we are almost done and you can continue afterwards. But we literally have one slide left. We are so close, guys. Thank you for hanging in there with me. And thank you for keeping the interruptions definitely to a minimum. We jump back to Felix and Sylvie. Felix and Sylvie. Oh, thank you for coming back out of the bottle, Felix. You follow these bodies through the streets, using Votum to help you every now and then, and eventually see them disappear down into the riverbed at the base of a bridge leading into the river ward, which is where the university is. You're able to open what appears to be a trick door in the base of the stone on the bridge and follow these stairs down into the darkness into what turns out to be a long row of cells and a laboratory, presumably where whatever nefarious experiments happen. Felix and Sylvie, you creep through the aisle of the laboratory. Felix, you're able to listen into some of these conversations and glean a little bit more about what these experiments are.
I was super quiet.
You were so quiet. Problem was, there was one other person with you, and she
Oh
was
no!
not. You hear a scream, and you turn around, and you see Sylvie clutched up with a monster's claw against her throat, up against the bars of one of the cells. And that is the end of our presentation.
We're gonna leave it there? No, wait. How does it go? Wait.
I suppose you'll have to find out.
Oh, but I have to go to the bathroom so bad. Oh,
Well, it's
God.
over, Felix. You can go.
You go.
Okay.
Go to the bathroom.
I'm going.
So his parents offered to pay us to keep him?
Yeah, I don't know if I've told you all that yet.
What?
I don't
What
think
did you?
that money was to help us. I think that was more just hush money. So we
Yeah,
don't
what did
talk
you-
about this.
What was the response to that? How did you?
I told them we would consider it.
Oh, what?
In like I'm looking down on you type of way. Like I don't think that you should be doing that type of thing. But like we'll keep it in mind. Like that type of it.
Okay.
And on that note, we really only have the auditorium for another 2 minutes.
I'll go get Felix. Who knows what trouble he's gotten into this time?
I'll
Guys,
take a bus
guys,
with
the
you.
session's about to start. We got it. The session's about to start.
Let's begin. Where we last left off, our brave adventurers attended a dinner party at the home of the Solus family, where they mingled. Felix met up with an old friend, Sylvie. Reese met up with an old friend, Professor Elowen Netherglim, before the party was attacked by 3 disfigured, snarling, mutant humanoid monsters. two of the monsters were swiftly taken care of, and the third, being shaken out of its whatever crazed mental state it was in, escaped out the window, ran away. And some of our party chased after it. Some of our party stayed behind. Reese and Kai were able to catch up to the monster now known as Zash, the Tabaxi woman, who was formerly a poli-sci student at Mulehausen College. Meanwhile, Treos, disguised as Reese, went off with Captain Martin Vike and his merry band of soldiers to find this third assailant, and was able to mislead them, to send them off in their own direction. And also, meanwhile, Felix and Sylvie decided to go off on a little adventure of their own, tracking where the mysterious figures that showed up were taking the bodies of the two dead assailants. They were able to track them through the streets, all the way back to the river ward, to one of the bridges, where they found a surprise waiting for them. Meanwhile, again, Kai was able to return back to the Solus home and have a nice, very edifying chat with the Solus family, during which they all agreed that Felix was much, much safer off traveling with the adventurers party rather than staying with his loving family in Mulehausen. And Reese was able to take Zash to the nearest tavern. Felix and Sylvie wander their way down this secret passageway, coming to a long hallway lined with cells, where some of them are empty, some of them have creatures that seem to be hidden in the dark, sleeping or just still. And at the end of the hallway is an open room with several, almost a dozen, lab tables, upon which most of them are occupied humanoid figures strapped down, and some of them unconscious, one of them groaning slightly, and two voices coming from a back room where there's a door. And this is where we begin. Felix, you were stepping towards the door to see if you could listen in on the conversation. You heard a few words before you hear a shriek from behind you, and you spin around, and you see Sylvie is grasped up against the cell of one of the, up against the bars of one of the cell, with this huge disfigured claw gripping into her neck, and a creature snarling, clutching at the bars behind her. And this is where we begin. So Felix, with the voices that have swiftly cut off in the back room, and you start to hear footsteps move towards the door, you see Sylvie struggling, still shrieking a little against the monster's claw. What are you doing?
Now, this is as I was already heading back, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So about how far away am I?
I'd say you're about 20 feet.
Okay. I'd like to move up close, probably within about 10 feet. But into that hallway where she was. And he's going to go, please, you have to let her go.
You hear a snarl. Roll a persuasion check for me.
Persuasion. Ooh, 16.
Almost. You see as the creature's eyes sort of, which had been glazed over in a pure solid white, clear for a moment, and it shakes and the claw starts to loosen, and then they glaze right back over, and the creature snarls again. You see saliva dripping from an open-fanged mouth as it snarls down at Sylvie's face. Sylvie's going to try and struggle her way out to no avail. But you see as she's struggling, she's kind of grappling, clawing at the hand. And at this point, the two figures, you see as the door starts to open. I will say you probably get one more turn before they fully get out into the hallway.
His hand is going to shake, like it is shaking with fear. I don't want to do this, and there's going to be a fire that lights up in his hand. And as you see it, like his eyes start, like often when he does like his to detect magic, like his eyes start rolling like waves, but this time it's a little more intense. Let her go, or I'll do something I don't want to do.
At this point, the creature is too far gone. Sylvie's gonna scrabble at it again.
Oh, well, okay. I was gonna try to hold a reaction.
Okay,
to
yeah,
if
what
he
reaction
doesn't
are
let
you
her
holding?
Release Firebolt.
Yeah. Yeah, you can release Firebolt.
That's a nat 20.
Holy shit, yeah. Okay.
So
roll your damage.
Yep.
And
Yep.
you were so lucky that was a nat 20 because she at first rolled a nat 1 on her attempt to escape, but now I'm giving her advantage.
Okay. So that is 27 points of fire and cold damage.
27?
27.
Woo! Okay. As you see as the firebolt sears straight through the bars, and Sylvie, she's still scrabbling, and the claw seems to tighten for a second, but you hear this inhuman screech, and the creature just drops to the ground. It's writhing, it's burning, and eventually it just sort of, the singed smell of burning hair reaches your nostrils, and the figure stops moving. And Sylvie, like, pushes away from the bar. She's like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. At which point, right behind you, you hear a, hey, what are you doing? And you spin around and you see two white lab-coated figures standing right behind you. What are you doing?
Okay. So I say run, like I just did. And I'll grab her by the hand, and I'm going to start taking off. As I do that, I'm going to look briefly behind me, and I'm going to make minor illusions sound like someone else's voice behind one of the tables going, jump them.
Okay.
And it'll sound almost exactly like Reese.
All right. Yeah, that's going to distract one of them as he just turns around and he's like, what the fuck? Where was that? But the other one is still sprinting after you. Are you using minor illusions action?
Yeah.
Okay, so they're sprinting after you. They're maybe 10 feet behind you as they chase you up this hall. I'd like you to roll. Are you trying to stay quiet as you run, or are you just running? Okay.
Run.
Yeah. Are you once you eventually get to the stairs and you see the spiral stairs going up, you look behind you and you see this lab figure almost there, literally about to reach out and grab the scruff of your neck. You're climbing?
Yeah, but I'd like him to shit his pants with prestidigitation.
Okay.
It just happens. I've shit his pants.
You shit his pants. You just hear Sylvie go, ew, and then keep on running. He's not stopping, though. He is going to keep running after you. As you take the stairs two at a time, your feet thundering up, echoing through the halls. You actually hear below you as the other figures in the cell have started to wake up, and it almost sounds like a zoo, the snarling and the growling and the creatures throwing themselves at the bars, but you are running, sprinting up these stairs. You eventually get to the top with the large fake stone doorway. What are you doing?
Was it closed or an open? I can't remember. I'm just, my memory.
You closed it behind you. Yes.
Is it locked behind, or is it something that I could swing open?
Are you throwing yourself at it?
I just can't remember if I had locked it.
You hadn't actively locked it.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, you You throw yourself at it. You feel the door, which is strange because it looks like stone in this dim lighting, but it feels like a wooden door, and you throw yourself against it and it rattles against the hinges. I'd like you to make a strength check for me.
Okay.
Make it with
Okay.
advantage, because Sylvie's going to, as she sees you do this, she's going to throw her shoulder into it as well.
Okay. Just standard strength.
Standard strength.
That is a 15.
Yeah. That is going to, as you feel the latch in it just sort of snap a little, and the door is flung open, and you stumble out into the air, right as the figure grasps onto the back of your neck and pulls you backwards.
Okay.
I would like you to make a dex saving throw to see if you can escape this figure.
That is a 12.
That is a 10. You feel the fingers scrape across your neck as you duck right under it, and you just keep on. Are you running? You're at the bottom of the riverbank of this river.
Yeah, and there was something that we climbed down, right?
You'd climbed down from the street to this riverbank.
Okay. I would like... Can I ask, based on just my knowledge of the area, what predators would live in this river?
Not many. It's a very sanitized
Possibly.
river.
Sure.
Every now and then there are tell of like crocodiles, like large, but honestly the worst that you've ever actually literally anecdotally heard of are like snapping turtles.
Cool. A crocodile head with minor illusion is going to like jump out of it's just like you can't see much, but it's the water and the crocodile head that's lunging towards the guy as I continue to run.
Okay. Roll a performance check for me as you're trying to distract him with this soundless crocodile head coming out of the water.
Yeah. That is a
DC 17.
persuasion
is what he rolled.
I don't think so. You said performance. Yeah, no. Nope. 13.
You hear just a growl, "Not happening again, kid," and he's going to try and lunge for you. Actually, he's going to try and lunge for Sylvie this time. As he's going to make... It's a 4 and a 5. So she's going to stumble over. It's a 4 and a 5 on him. So he's going to be able to actually grab the back of her robes and pull her back. And he's going to just shout, "Stop right there!" And you see the glint of a scalpel held against her neck.
Okay.
Get back here right now.
Let her go and take me.
Inside. And he's going to gesture back towards the door.
Drop her first.
Inside.
Promise.
She's coming too.
Netherglim's gonna be mad at you then.
You see as he sort of takes a moment at that name, but then shakes himself. Doesn't matter, get inside.
Now, do you think the guards would like to know you're threatening a child? I will have had Votum go and fly and try to like get a guard's attention, or just like make a scene over by the bridge while I'm doing this.
What is Votum doing?
I mean, he's just going.
He's like
crazy.
just looking for any. He's just flopping around everywhere, shooting fire,
blasting things. Yeah, just whatever he can to make a scene that would like draw people to look over the bridge.
It's late enough that there aren't many people on the bridge, but the few you see, the figures of what appear to be like lone students coming back from libraries, etc., studying late nights, and you just hear, "What the?" And they're just gonna like walk around. You see some of them pause. What is that thing? He's gonna the guard's gonna quickly look up, then look back down. All right then, and he's gonna start pulling Sylvie, and she's struggling. She's like, "Let me go! Come on, Felix!" And he's gonna start pulling her, struggling back towards the door.
How far out did we get? We just got, but we
you got
made
like 20 feet out.
Okay.
He's dragging her.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the thing again. I'm gonna attack him.
Okay, you're gonna do firebolt.
Mm-hmm.
Roll to hit.
That is where is it? So I never attack, so that is a 16 to hit.
Yeah, that'll hit. Roll damage.
That is 9 points of fire damage and 3 points of cold damage.
As you see, as you reach out the firebolt, and it just shoots and blasts him straight in the upper collarbone shoulder area, and he stumbles back. Let's see if he loses his grip on Sylvie. That's a 19 for Sylvie. And an 8. Yeah, so Sylvie's able to yank herself away, and she, for the second time that night, stumbles out into the riverbank. You actually see as she just sort of splashes her way through the water for a moment before getting back up on the bank and scrambling over to you. And she's gonna yank your arm. Felix, let's go, come on.
Go.
Are you coming?
Yeah, I'm coming.
Okay.
And I'm going to create the loudest scream that possibly can be heard using minor illusion. Which
what,
it
like
just says
child
a loud
scream, loud scream,
a cacophony of screams.
Okay. You hear
and
as
I'm
the
going to
crowd...
continue moving back, but
yeah, you can start moving. Are you moving up the river? Or are you trying to climb the riverbank?
Yeah, climb up the riverbank.
You can start climbing up the riverbank as you hear a cacophony of screams, and the lab-coated man, still clutching his shoulder, looks around and covers his ears, and he's going to stumble back. And you cast one last glance behind you as he disappears into the room.
Was he masked, or could I see his face?
You could see his face.
Cool.
All right.
And I'm going to, I guess, head back to my parents' house, because I don't know where anyone else is.
Yeah, you can head back to your parents' house. At this point, we're probably going to jump over to both, Treos and Kai, you have been searching the streets for Felix. Kai, you just left the Soulless house. Where are you going to find Felix first? Are you heading back to the Brass Buckle? Are you heading somewhere else?
I think I would have asked, like, if anybody had seen in what direction Felix had gone. But if nobody did, then I'm just going to start aimlessly wandering because I really don't know these streets.
Yeah, Felix kind of slipped out when no one was looking, but you do hear a worried Professor Netherglim at some point just turn around and go, "Where's Sylvie? Sylvie, darling!" Shit. And you see as she's going to start making her way down the streets as well. So you're just wandering.
Yeah, I might try and like covertly follow Professor Netherglim.
Yeah, okay.
I forget. Out of game, does Kai have a reason to be suspicious of Professor Netherglim? I've seen Reese talk to him, I think, or talk to her. And
yes, you've seen Reese get into it with her.
Okay, then I will follow her.
You were also, I believe, there for part of the conversation with Zash.
Yes,
where some things might
right.
have been implied about Professor Netherglim. So, yes, you are suspicious of her. You can try and follow her.
Start.
I would roll stealth. Okay.
Sorry, it's taking me a while to find it. So, okay, that's gonna be a 12.
12. Okay. Let's see. She. Yeah, that'll just. She is preoccupied. She's moving through the streets. You see as she checks over her shoulder a couple times, but it seems to be almost an unseeing look just over her shoulder to make sure. You're not entirely sure what, but maybe to find Sylvie, maybe not. She's moving quietly through the streets in the direction of, eventually you see the long stretch of bridges and sparkling lights that makes up Real Hessen College. And you are able to follow her through the streets. At this point, you do hear you hear a voice, a loud cacophony of screams come from one of the bridges. And Professor Netherglim just curses under her breath and speeds up. She's not quite running, but just like hustling through the streets a bit. Do you keep following?
I will stop following as much as I'm gonna start sprinting for the noise. And if I run into her, I'm just gonna act like, oh, I heard those screams too. Let's go check it out.
Yeah, you'll quickly run into her because she's not running at full speed. At some point, she's just going to look over and just give you another look. And you see as she just sort of gives a look and hurries up and starts actually running this time. You are sprinting towards the screams. You roll a perception check for me.
That's not great. That's a 9.
Yeah, you are running for the screams. At some point, you skid to a halt at the edge of a river bank. Professor Netherglim is right behind you, and you look down and you see an empty river bank. The river running underneath a bridge that's perpendicular to where you are. At this point, Felix, is Votum still making a scene?
No, if we've left, he's followed.
Okay. Yeah, so at this point, Votum is gone. So you're looking down at what is now a quiet riverbank, and you don't see anyone, you don't hear anyone. But you do hear Netherglim curse slightly under her breath before she looks over, and she just goes, Sylvie? And you, Felix and Sylvie, you're scrambling up the riverbank about 100 feet down, and Sylvie looks over and she goes, Mom! Oh my goodness, Mom! And she's gonna run over and just tackle her mom in a hug. And her mom's just gonna hug her back. Sylvie, where did you go? You can't run off like that. What were you doing here? Felix, is that you? Get over here. Where did you go? And Kaya turn around and you see Felix.
Has she seen me? Okay.
Yes, she saw both of you.
We were exploring, and then we found this river, and there was this guy, and he was trying to hurt Sylvie. He was in white robes.
And you see as she's going to clutch Sylvie. Both of you roll insight for me.
Um. 17.
17?
Stinky, poo-poo, dirty, 12.
Oh. Felix, you notice as her gaze, when you say man in white robes, her gaze seems to be more tense and frustrated than it is scared, as perhaps a parent should be, theoretically. But she clutches Sylvie tighter and she's just going to go, Felix, after the attack, you cannot just run off like that. Your parents were worried sick.
No, they weren't.
Oh. They're not usually worried, so that makes sense.
Well, they're not used to you being in the middle of danger all the time.
Well, there wasn't any danger in most of the city.
Can't just go off unaccompanied. You could run into strangers and weirdos and freaks. Anything could happen.
But we did it all the time.
Not with my daughter, you didn't.
Well, so
And you see as
Felix-
Sylvie, her tear-streaken face, she's just going to look over you with wide eyes, and just go and shake her head quietly.
Sylvie and I just ran into each other. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, we just kind of we're walking over. I was just walking around the city separately. Actually,
Felix, let's head back to find the others right now.
okay.
Well, I'm going to take Sylvie home. I trust you have this one, and she's asking that to you, Kai.
Yes.
Bye, Sylvie. It was really good seeing you.
Hi, Felix. Will I see you again before you go?
I hope so. And as we turn around to walk, he's gonna just whisper into his hand as he's gonna cast a message to her. And he's gonna go, I don't think you should tell your mom about any of the weird stuff just yet.
She's going to jolt a little. Can she respond to message?
Mm-hmm.
She's just going to go, but she's mum.
Yeah, but we can keep it our secret, and then maybe we can meet up before I go and we can talk about it. And I'll send a second message.
Well, if you think that's best.
Yeah, well, and then we don't have to keep it it could be fun, you know. And then
Okay.
we could learn about it. It'll be like a secret project.
I don't think Mum would like me keeping that secret from her.
Well, yeah, but Well, I just think
It's not a secret. It's just like a later truth.
Yeah, exactly. A later truth. That's perfect. Because we don't need to not tell her about it. We can tell her about it. I just think that we should learn as much as we can before we say anything. We wouldn't want to look silly.
Always cross-reference your sources.
Right. And I'm sending you
As you get further and further and further away.
Kai is just seeing as he keeps raising his hand to his mouth.
Please speak directly into the mic.
But eventually, I assume they get far enough away that they.
Eventually,
can't
you're
message each other
far
anymore.
enough away. You see as Sylvie sort of gives one last look back, and then her mom drags her away. And now the night is left with you and Kai. Before we go to what you guys are doing, Treos, you have been wandering the streets looking for Felix for a little while. You headed off in the direction, I believe you said, of the residential ward. What are you looking for? / what are your plans?
To be honest, I didn't think this far, but I guess just looking out for any extra signs of those creatures, like extra claw marks, maybe foot patterns, stuff like that in the ground or the dirt. And then if I don't really start seeing anything, I kind of start double backing towards the tavern or towards alleyways and roads I'm more familiar with.
Okay, roll a survival check for me. See if you can track.
That is a... where is it? 19.
19. Nice. There are certainly claws, but after a moment, you shake your head and remember, oh, right, those are the claw marks I made to lead the troops off. After some searching, you find not as much as you think you would. There is no sign of this creature that they had been hunting. Not only is there no sign of this creature, there's no sign of Felix, there's no sign of Kai or Reese. You're not entirely sure where your party went.
Just kind of in a bit of just confusion, not really sure what to do now. Did I have a meeting or something tonight, if I remember correctly?
I believe it was at... Let me remember.
It wasn't the
It was at, I want to say 1 a.m. or 2 a.m.
It How late or
in the
early?
Obscurium. It's about midnight.
Uh,
It's getting up there.
would I remember? Have we been there before and I know the way to there?
You will recall this is the library that Felix spent many hours studying in
Okay.
while you
Well,
went shopping.
I'll start making my way over there then.
Okay. As you make your way over there, jump again to we're gonna stick with Kai and Felix for a bit. As you two are Felix, you're being pulled away by Kai in a direction. The night falling quiet around you. You hear the soft flap of Votum's wings.
I think like as soon as like Felix is done doing his speaking to his hand, I'm just gonna be like, "Are you okay?"
You will see about at that same time when he stops messaging. There was a almost false confidence that he was trying to put on before, and it's gone at this point. Like it immediately disappears. There's a big problem. Don't get mad at me, okay?
I'm not gonna get mad at you.
I found where they are.
Where who is?
The creatures that attacked. There's a lot of them.
Okay. Are you hurt at all? Were you and Sylvie hurt?
No. But I did some bad things.
What did you do, Felix?
I hurt them on purpose. And his fingers are like he's like picking at his fingers as he does it.
Felix, if you didn't hurt them, they would hurt you. Or they would have hurt Sylvie.
Right, but now they know us.
Now they know you and Sylvie?
Yeah. And I think Miss Netherglim knows.
I think she does too.
I told Sylvie not to say anything, but I don't know.
Well,
I don't know if we've got much time.
yeah. I know where Reese is. We'll
Okay.
go grab him. We'll go talk about this, and we'll decide if we need to leave or if we want to do something about that.
But she could be in trouble. And the city could be in trouble. And my parents could be in trouble.
We'll talk about it with Reese, and we'll do everything we can to help Sylvie.
I don't have anything left. I need a break. But I don't feel like we can have one.
It's okay, Felix. Look, we're taking this one thing at a time. Let's just get back to the tavern right now. You're okay. You're safe.
Yeah.
And that's all we need to think about right now.
Okay.
Hey,
Okay.
I know it wasn't easy to hurt them, and I know it feels like a bad thing. And I'm not saying it's a good thing. But protecting yourself and protecting others is the only thing that could make it okay.
And my magic felt weird.
In what way?
I don't know. Like there was something else, you know? Like
something else inside of you or something else from somewhere else?
I don't know. It's just like when I made the fire, it did other things. I don't know. I feel like there's so much that's happening and there's not enough time to figure it all out.
We'll take everything one thing at a time. Okay?
I hope there's enough time to do that. And I assume we've been walking this whole time. So
Yeah. At this point, you come upon Kai. You would know where you're leading. You do come upon the what's it called? Looking for the name.
You said the brazen buckle earlier. Is that it, or is
The
that
brass buckle is
other
where
one?
you were staying. Reese specified he did not want to take Zash to the brass buckle where you were staying. Just gotta figure out where I wrote it down. There we go. The Thirsty Wormling is where you ended up going. Where Reese, you and Zash had actually entered in about an hour earlier. So we're gonna jump there. As you step up to the door of the Thirsty Wormling, you offered your cloak to drape over Zash's shoulders, and you see as she's kind of hunched in, quietly following along behind you. You step inside and you see a tired barmaid just look up from the bar top that extends in one corner, and she just looks over. What can I do for you?
3 rooms, 2 meals, please.
4 rooms?
3 rooms.
3 rooms. Right. Let me just one sec. And she's gonna move out of the bar around towards where the reception desk is, and she's gonna look up at the wall and take down 3 keys. Did you want them connected?
Sure.
All 3?
Yeah. If you can do that, I don't.
Okay.
Yeah.
And she's gonna put 2 of them back, grab another 2, and hold them out. It's gonna be 4 gold for the top.
And 2 meals as well.
2 meals? Consider them part of the complimentary.
Yeah. I'll fork over the gold and take the keys, and I will move to a table booth wherever that is like opposite wall of the door, but has like clear view of the door.
Yeah, you basically just want to find a discrete table where you can watch who comes in easily. There's practically no one in here at this time. It's a relatively quiet tavern, which is actually why you gravitated towards it. You wanted something more out of the way. You found this at the end of an alleyway. You notice as she nods towards the cook, who pops his head out, and she just goes, 2 meals over there. And the cook nods back and is going to get started. Zash quietly follows you over to the table. As you both sit down, she just sort of melts into her seat. So what now?
Well, you're welcome to stay here as long as you need. We'll cover the room. Don't worry about it. And if you want to head with us, we're going to the Gilded Gates or that way soon. You can at least have the city if you'd like. I know you probably want to get out of here after everything that's been going on.
Yeah. Honestly, I never thought I'd want to leave Milhessen, but after all this, I'm kind of sick of the place.
Yeah, I am too. So, too posh for my standards.
Didn't you say you were going to the Gilded Gates?
Passing through. We have some business to take care of, but other than that.
What sort of business did you say you were part of?
I'm gonna kind of like look down at my tattered clothes and my mass of weapons that I have on me. I mean, if you can't tell, we're adventuring, traveling.
Sorry,
No, it's okay.
just sort of wondering what's out there for someone whose life was on hold for 7 years, you know?
Yeah. We met some member of the Bestiary Guild a few towns back, and she said if we ever need anything, we could stop by, and figured contacting the gates isn't a bad thing to keep in touch with in case you ever need a favor.
I do have an old mentor. Well, she was a tutor of mine before the college. If she's still in the gates, maybe I can come with you guys and look her up.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, you're welcome to travel with us and hang out. What said it was a tutor of yours?
Yeah, she sort of helped me apply to the college, get all the scholarships, everything. She's the secretary of one of the guild assistant heads right now. So, or she was 7 years ago. I don't know if she still is actually.
What's her name, if you don't mind me asking?
Taza.
Were you part of the Gilded Gates, or did you just know someone in there? Like, I didn't know if you were like family was.
Oh no, I don't have a family, but I mean poli sci, kind of Gilded Gates where we all really want to end up at some point. Well, where we wanted to end up, because we literally want to study what's going on over there.
Yeah,
So
it's not as great as you may think it is. It's got a grand name, but that doesn't mean it's all sunshine and rainbows in there.
You been there before?
A while ago, a long, long time ago, before all the mess happened, and it's been a long time.
Wait, so you weren't from Mulhausen?
No.
I sort of just assumed all of us were from Mulhausen.
No, I'm not from Johessen. I don't know where they had taken me and my group. We were in the middle of nowhere. It seemed like maybe that's just my perception of it, but we weren't in a city, as far as I'm aware.
Huh. So there's more of them.
Apparently.
Well, not my problem anymore.
Not yet, at least.
If you think I'm ever going back down there.
Down where? Do you know where you got?
Well, I mean, there were no windows, but it just always kind of felt underground,
Yeah.
Damp, rats. At least the rats weren't too bad.
Any like noises, smells, sounds, anything that could maybe pinpoint where you were?
At some point, I thought I heard water. That's like, it's the city of rivers. It
Yeah.
doesn't say
sure.
much. I mean, like I said, I was kind of, during most of it, I was kind of either out of it or in the shitload of pain. So and you're not really paying attention to where you are. You're just kind of hoping they're going to give you your next dose and knock you out.
Yeah.
Does it ever go away?
He's not gonna respond to that. Just kind of like almost like stare through her at that question.
At this point, your 2 meals, warm, come over to the table. And you can talk a little more as you eat, but she's kind of fallen mostly into a sort of comatose type of silence.
Yeah.
And eventually, you do see 2 figures step inside that you recognize. It's Kai and Felix.
You're gonna see this wave of like almost like all the tension he's held in his body for the however we've been traveling just kind of like drops as this wave of relief kind of washes over him, seeing them walk in.
You see as Zash on your side actually tenses up, but then she relaxes a little when she sees that it's Kai, who she's met before. Felix, you have never met this individual sitting with Reese at the table, but when their hood tips back a little, you do see the black furred face of a tabaxi woman who's just sort of picking at now just a slice of bread on her plate and watching you both with wary eyes.
As we enter in, Reese, it doesn't take like someone crazy to see like Felix looks more shaken up than you've seen him look before, and he's been in a fight, in a couple fights. But he kind of tries to like hide it before, as he sees that there's someone else with you.
Mm-hmm.
Who is that? I'm gonna say to Kai.
It's a friend. Reese, we have a problem.
You want to kind of like wordly glance over.
Does anyone know where Treos is?
I haven't seen him since the party.
Vote him. Go find Treos. Bring him back.
And as you sit down, with Reese, we have a problem. You join them at the table. At this point, we are going to jump to Treos. You have started making your way towards the Obscurum, which you'll recall is in the library ward. A very quiet ward as it gets later at night. It's around probably midnight, a little past midnight, 12:30 by the time you make it to the giant grandiose buildings, and you take a turn down a quiet alleyway, darkened, no streetlights, till eventually you see the large, arched, pitch black door with the runes traveling around it that you recall leads straight into the Obscurum, the library of arcane magic. You can try the handle, but it doesn't budge.
Do I remember the exact steps Felix did? Because it was like...
Roll a history check for me.
Okay.
See how much you remember.
That is a 18.
Nice. Yeah, you are able to... It takes you a moment of thinking and maybe a false start or two, but eventually you're able to tap the symbols in the order that you think you recall Felix doing. After a moment, you wait with bated breath. You're like, not sure, is the wrong combination going to set off an alarm? Like, what's going to happen? But eventually, as the silence of the alley presses in on you, the door just silently, not without even a creak, swings inward. And you're able to step inside. The space itself is pitch black, even more so once the door thuds closed behind you. And you can make your way. You can't even see past your own hand at this point.
This darkness feels like magical, or just...
No, it feels like a room with no windows at 12:30 at night.
Okay, I'll just carefully stumble around the library, see if I can get back to the section when I first grabbed that book from earlier, the one that I pulled the message out of.
Yeah, as you step into the library, you maneuver your way blindly at first, but eventually you're able to touch one of the bookshelves and kind of envision where you are, and you can weave your way through the bookshelves. You're not entirely sure if you're making it where you want to go because it is very dark and you'd only been in this library once. But at some point, a pinprick of light catches you way off to your right through several bookshelves. You spin your head towards it. Do you make your way towards it?
I can see the light through the bookshelves.
You can.
Okay.
Yes.
I kind of want to crouch down before looking over and see if I can peek around one of the shelves to see where that light's coming from.
Yeah, you can peek around one of the shelves. You're able to see straight towards where the study desks are, and you see a small flickering, what appears to be a singular tea light, before you just hear a voice go, Boss, that you?
Don't scare me like that. What are you doing? And I just, at that point, just kind of get up a little bit slowly and make my way over to the table.
The figure waiting at the table is a small, wiry halfling that you recognize as Flip Bellant, a familiar, deft-fingered pickpocket turned knife juggler. And you see a crop of bright red hair, and he's just sort of sitting up on one of the tables, half perched there, and he's flipping a coin in his finger. When you say, don't scare me like that, he just goes, you scared the fuck out of me. I was just sitting here.
Oh, you could at least pick someone that wasn't so macabre, I guess.
At this point, you hear another voice as another figure emerges from behind the bookcases. This one the voice is richer and deeper, and you recognize it as Madame Trillia, aka the voice of Velvet, a singer in your troupe. And she just goes, well, there aren't many places we can meet without anyone seeing. We have a contact here. It's untoured, but it's the best place we could go.
Okay, that's fine. I can't complain too much. I've just been on edge the past couple of hours, okay?
You're on edge. And this is Flip. We had to sneak in here. I mean, we had the contact, but he could just get us in the door. We're not actually supposed to be here, you know.
Right. I guess a little too close to home. Well, is there anything you guys want to talk about right now?
Well, it's about the job.
Okay.
The one that sent you to Selgon.
Yeah.
And at this point, Trillia is going to step further closer to the desk, and you see as she's going to put down her hood, you would notice that she always had this intricate, almost beautiful network of tattoos creeping up her arms. These white veins that made their way up her arms. But you will notice that, unlike before, it seems like she's gotten more of these tattoos, and they're now starting to creep up her neck. And she takes a shuddery breath. She looks extremely drawn and tired. Well, it took a little finagling, per se, but we were able to speak with one of the secretaries in the Gilded Gates, and at this point, Flip just snickers. Well, speak with, blackmail. Could go either way. And she's just gonna shush him. Truth is, we were able to find more of a description of the object you're looking for. The one that you were supposed to find in Selgant, but she was able to draw us this, and she slides a sheet of paper across, upon which you see what appears to be a black and white charcoal sketch of a stone twisting in a different formation. Which roll a history check for me. Again.
Great.
Testing your memory.
Yeah. That's a 7.
It looks, you know, it's not Yus's, but it looks familiar. At the very least, this strange runic shape and the stone and the fact that scribbled next to it are the words glows purple triggers some memory. At the moment, though, you're more like, okay, this is important, filing it away for later. You take it, look at it for a moment, and you can put it back in your pocket. And there's more. We were able to track down not who sent the commission, but it's someone high up in the Gilded Gates. Whoever wants us to get this thing for them. Which is why we wanted to talk to you, because, you know, it's not necessarily... Some of us don't want that kind of attention, and we're not sure how safe it is to go after this thing after all.
Well, with what's been going on with the unfortunate group of people I've been working with, we've seen to have this whole situation is getting way more sketchier than I thought.
Sketchier how?
You know, weird monster creatures bursting through downtown buildings. Something about chaos storms, some strange healers, necromancer in the mix somewhere. It's been a trip. It's been a trip, to say the least.
Man, we thought we had a time.
No, but you guys been through a lot. Why do we take this job? Oh, it's not like we didn't need the money. We had the show going on. We had.
Well, we can give it back. Won't be the first job we've dropped.
Yeah.
And if you want to drop these losers, you know, there's always a place. You're our ringleader. In more ways than one.
You guys mean the world to me. You've been through hell and back, and listen, for this job, you guys should just head back home. I don't want to see you guys get in any more trouble. I can already see it's straining you, Trillia. It's
No, it's just the old bones.
No, don't.
Nothing.
Listen, right now, the group that I'm with now, this whole thing seems to be a lot more personal. It's not like me just not see the end of this. Okay, you've dealt with my issues before. I'm not just gonna abandon this right now.
And we're not gonna abandon you. Look, this circus wouldn't have gotten past a tiny little caravan in the outwoods without you. We're not going anywhere.
Thanks.
All we're saying is just be careful. Stealing from a guild head is one thing. Stealing from a guild head for another guild head, that gets the sort of attention, and I'm not sure we want it, but if you're gonna follow through with it, so are we. And at this, Flip is gonna nod as well.
Okay, well, right now in a day or two, we'll be making our way to the Gilded Gates. There is someone that I've talked to by the name of Captain Vike. We had rescued a friend of his before. She had tipped us off, said that he might be helpful. He's definitely someone that's skeptical of the issues and stuff going on around here. So he might have some extra info for us. I definitely not saying you guys should intervene But if you happen to stumble across any men that work for him or get any more extra info, the more the merrier.
Well, we did hear, because, guy like that, it's nice to know what's going on in the city. He's sending half the city's troops out to the Gilded Gates in the next couple weeks. There's some major coronation for a new guild head happening, so we can try and hitch a ride with them. Maybe see you out there.
That sounds like a plan. Something big at the gates. Contact's definitely going to be there for sure.
And you're sure this guy isn't in with Shiva?
No, it doesn't really suit him. If at worst, he seems more like a guy who won his own law, but I doubt that.
Well, seems like whatever happens next our next step's the Gilded Gates.
Yep.
We'll see if we can find anything about who hired us. Maybe say hello to our old secretary friend again. And at this point, you just see Trillia she almost puts a head in her hand, and she just goes, I think maybe we've exhausted that point. And Flip is just going to wave off. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. You can trust us. We got this.
Okay. I know you guys got it. But for now, try and get some rest for a bit before you do anything rash. I want to see you guys again, okay?
Yes,
in
sir.
one piece. Got it?
Maybe two. Never know. And he flips his knife again.
Sure thing. And I get up from the table, just pat Flip on the back. I want to... When I look at Trillia, at some of her veins around her neck and around her arm, do they look similar to Sylvie?
So Sylvie doesn't have any veins, but you will recall Professor Netherglim did.
Right, okay.
And Netherglims were an inky blue that looked almost black on her dark purple drow skin, but an inky blue. Sylvie's are bright white, pure white. And she has sort of she's almost worked her own other tattoos into them as well, so it looks a little bit like vines crawling up her arms, but the ones just going up her neck just look like veins.
Okay. Just before saying final goodbyes for now, I'll walk up to Trillia, just gently hold both her hands and say, if this gets any worse, or you just at your limits, do not stretch yourself even more. Don't push it. Okay?
She's just gonna smile a little. It's always getting worse, boss. The luck of the draw. I'll be fine.
Okay.
I've got a couple more good years in me, at least. You're not losing this voice yet.
I still want to hear one more good song, okay?
I can promise you two.
Perfect. And then I just go in for a gentle hug before starting to walk back out.
She's gonna hug you back. Yeah. As you make your way out through, you take a look behind, and the night goes dark as Flip just blows out the candle. But you're able to step back out into the alleyway. At which point you hear a flap, 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 and you look up just in time to see as Vodum lands on one of the overturned barrels in the alley, and is going to look up at you and trill its wings a bit.
I'm jumping back, my tail and everything just sprouts straight forward like cat. That's just a surprise. Reaching for a knife, getting ready to stab before I realize, oh, what? Why are you here? How did you? Where? Just looking around the corner, seeing if Felix was around, just trying to play a joke on me, or if any of the others were there.
You don't see anyone, but you see as Vodum clacks its like almost ice crystal like scales and just sort of hops down and tail in the air starts waddling down the alley, looks back, flaps its wings twice.
What is it? Just kind of, I guess, like walk in his direction or wherever he's going.
Once he sees you're following, he's gonna lift off into the air and start soaring through the streets, low and in the shadows.
Okay.
But if you follow him,
Yeah,
he will take you back through the streets, eventually into the residential ward, and down another discreet alleyway. This time at the back, you see the soft swinging sign of the thirsty wormling. And you take a moment, but Vodum just sort of rattles again and stuffs his head towards the door. Lure leaves a little puff of smoke.
Okay. You coming in too?
Another rattle.
All right. I just pick him up, like walk, like have him around my arms, and just walk him in.
Yeah. As you open the door to rejoin your companions after a long night. That is where we are going to end the session.